Hello, hello. Today is the first SIG Node weekly meeting this year. It's January 2nd, 2024. Welcome, everybody. We have a couple topics for today, but not too many people. So let's see how far we can go through the agenda. Marcus, your topic is first.
Yes, I think this will be kind of quick one, especially with this small sort of people here. I wanted to talk about the QoS resources kept that has been there for a while, like 2 years, I guess already. And just wanted to bring it up and like ask for suggestions what possibly I could do to help it go forward, and then ask that if people see, or are there some kind of blockers from the SIG node perspective, and just call of action to for people to really review that and give up or then knock for the cap, or kind of have move it in some direction. So it's now in API review. Tim Hockin has been assigned as the API reviewer. I haven't got any comments, new or fresh comments from him yet, but I hope that he will review it in this cycle. But kind of question and call of action. So if the API review would pass muster, then kind of is there from SIG Node perspective something blocking it or blocking the cap?
API review is okay. Like, did you get an like acknowledgement of API change?
It's no, not yet. So no. The API review is still underway, but kind of and also try to be early.
Try to formulate what is a set of problems or blockers people like. What's the most the biggest concerns people are voicing right now, at least from your understanding?
And the cap. Well, to be honest, I don't see any kind of major concerns in that sense, that people would have commented that okay, this must not be accepted or forwarded because of this or this. So I could try go through the comments once again and get try to, because there are so many comments already that it's hard to follow the discussion. So maybe that might be a good idea to go through and try to collect all open comments in one comment, so kind of meta comments. That might be something, because there are some open comments still that people haven't been closing or responding to. So that might be something. And then I realized I just read through the cap. So I realized that I need to do some polishing, cleaning, and clarification to the text. But okay, that's one at least solid, good suggestion what to do. To summarize up.
Sasha was trying to unmute himself. Do you have a comment here?
No, I decided I'll let Marcus to finish things. Like from my side, I read the comments. I don't think we have any big blocker issues. Like we try to respond to everyone who provided comments to that cap. So practically we need feedback from SIG Node approvers. And Tim Hockin, he mentioned what he will look at it, but that was like beginning of December. So I think he will be after New Year. So we're returning back and he will look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I need to update update a bit the user storage use cases as well, usage scenarios as well. Because I think, yeah, for example, NRI plugins will be, or is kind of becoming more and more important in that case, I think, or in that area.
Yeah, I think one big uncertainty that we have is lack of understanding how everything will work long term with kubelet and containerd, with moving more and more responsibilities to containerd, kubelet losing some visibility into resources, and QoS cap making it even harder for kubelet to understand what's happening and what kind of resources allocated where.
Not necessarily. So, Sergey, it's not really about allocation. It's more about to put the clarification of what kind of resources it can be possible. So, like, think about it as similar to extended resources.
Yeah, and I don't have concern myself, like big concern myself. I just thinking that may be the reason of people delaying and uncertainties that many people may have, and another thing maybe like making it more vendor specific. As you said, like with extended resources the same way, right? So people have different names for resources, and it will make pods less how to say, it's portable between vendors.
So practically it will be exactly the same as device plugins or extended resources. So there is a namespace which is supposed to be owned by Kubernetes core. And I think we discussed it with Swati and Francesca in some of the PRs related to CPU manager. So that is like owners, and everything what comes externally, like from runtime or from NRI plugins, we will have a prefix similar to what currently extended to device plugin resources are. So it's as portable as currently extended resources or device plugins.
Or might be a little bit more portable, at least in the sense that we try to address this specific concern with kind of well-defined QoS resources. So when there is, or when there would be, or more experience how this would be implemented, what would be implemented as QoS resources, then like well-known, well-understood QoS resource types would be added in the Kubernetes API that, let's say, cache or whatever bulk IO type. So then it would be defined in the API that, okay, this name means this kind of QoS mechanism, and then specify also the kind of how it's supposed to work from the user perspective. So, but there are no such so to speak, well-defined QoS resources yet in the KEP specified, but that's kind of
okay. So
discussed there.
Concern is kubelet and containerd relationships. You addressed it, and I'm just listing what I feel people may have concerns with, so you can have a prepared description of how those being addressed. Second is vendor portability. You making a good point about forces. Like there is a natural tendency to have well-known and well-defined resources, same as with device plugin. Likely names will be the same, and likely it will be portable enough. And you're also saying that there is a way forward when kubelet will start understanding certain QoS resources. It can have special logic on that. So maybe that is how we can explain how to move forward. I think last comment that I can make is what may be a problem with this cap overall is making sure that we have a good understanding how we will work with scheduling. So right now, dynamic resource DRA is all the DRA discussions are mostly around scheduling and auto scaler and like allocating nodes. So for QoS resources, I'm not sure how, like, I don't remember reading a lot last time I read the cap, but maybe if you can clarify the path forward for scheduling, for working with scheduling and for working with cluster autoscaling, then it may help to move this forward.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, autoscaler actually was one thing that I need to add there. But basically, it works in a similar way than other kind of native and extended resources. So it's similar from the scheduling point of view. So as such, there shouldn't be anything kind of new from the scheduler point of view, or even the not much new from the autoscaler point of view. But yeah, that's a good point. I need to add that as a subsection there.
Yeah, because
the cluster
conversations, people will remember that we just have this direct conversations, and looking at QoS caps, they will have the same concerns and same questions.
Yeah, but this QoS fields are a lot easier compared to DRA. So like we don't.
I agree.
Unlike DRA, it doesn't have a scheduler problems. Like build on exactly the same primitives, exactly the same like quota mechanism and so on, as extended resources. So it shouldn't be anything really problematic.
Okay.
So like the whole accounting is still owned by kubelet and scheduler, like the main scheduler.
Yeah. The only question is cluster autoscaling.
Exactly as with native resources. So just like if you try to estimate what kind of node you need to bring, just duplicate the node.
Okay.
But yeah, but that needs to be added there. That's a good point.
Yeah. It's all I had to say about it. So
yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, I think that was valuable feedback from like kind of what to do.
Okay.
And kind of just kind of pre-warning. So there is seems to be a lot of activity about the kind of resource discovery.
Kept planning maybe next week. I'll need to double check with Brunel when we'll do that. So I think it will be on top of the list. Should be. I mean, we'll need to get some approvers' eyes on it. So we'll have somebody assigned to CAP.
We would really like to do at least some progress about that, because recently, like a couple of weeks before Christmas, I saw some people are coming up with another usage of like additional scheduler plugins, more complex annotation usage for the things which can be easily solved by this CAP. So like instead of like creating more and more of this kind of workarounds, maybe it's better to start progressing on native way.
Maybe you can point out such examples in the CAP, and that will make a stronger case for it.
I'm not sure if it's public. I saw it in private demo.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think actually no, I saw some of the scheduler proposals which went public. Yeah, I will check with Markus afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, please, suggestion I have is try to connect it to AI/ML workload, because AI/ML is a hot topic, and that may help. Sorry, Markus, did I interrupt you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is enough for my topic already. 15 minutes on this. So.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
let's move on. Francesca, do you want to cover your topic?
Yes. Hello, everyone. So I have in the past weeks before Christmas, I was working with few other people, with good help from few other people, about exploring this topic. And before to commit more substantial resources, I'm starting to gather feedback from communities, including starting with SIG Node. So the basic idea is to enable the kubelet to trigger the unbinding process, so detach a pod from a node. So why? Because this will allow us to re-architect some solution, for example, simplify the array and completely solve pod runaway issues when, for example, kubelet rejects admissions of pod, most notably because it's unable to fulfill the allocation request. However, this is pretty big change. So the ask here is to basically comment on the document or reach out on Slack or anyway and say, okay, this is something we can explore, or this is something, no, we don't want to do that. I did my initial stage of research, and this seems something which is at least something we can discuss. And so this is it. And now, if there are questions, or I will elaborate just a bit to give more context to folks. There is an early design document linked. And just to wrap up, the idea is I'm still not sure about how much time I can spend on these in the 30s, in the 130 cycle. But this is totally something that I would like to still propose and iterate with the community, and then see, okay, what the community thinks about. So
I would recommend to go, like, to schedule also deep dive into
absolutely,
because
absolutely,
there's not too many people today.
absolutely,
we need more
Yeah.
people.
absolutely. The idea
Yeah.
is totally to get in touch with the scheduling community, to batch working group, and to gather feedback from them. And yeah, someone wanted to talk.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that this looks cool, and I at least want to take a look at that. So yeah, really.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. I'll take a look at it.
Thanks.
That's...
So just to give just to wrap up and give folks a teaser trailer of what is this about. The idea is that there are cases on which kubelet rejection is final, like the easiest example is the topology manager. Say, I'm requiring this form of resource alignment, and given the state of the node, kubelet say, okay, there is no way I can guarantee that unless some pod goes away. So the scheduler should actually pick something else, and to kickstart this process, the idea is, okay, kubelet says, okay, no way this pod can go there, so try another one. And this is basically the gist of the thing. And there is a bunch of details, a bunch of things to take care about, but this is basically and the relationship with the scheduler, which I anticipate to be a very common question, is that all of this is happening before pod goes running. When pod goes running and we want to rebalance the pod distribution or whatever, okay, the scheduler is good. But at this stage, when the pod is not yet running, the scheduler is not a great fit, if nothing else, because it will race with basically every controller without this form of this kind of change. And this is really the eagle eye view of the thing. So please reach out and comment, and look forward to hear from people. Thanks.
Yeah, I want to work with that, or contribute to that. So we've been glad that you picked this up. I think we've been pondering about this similar scenarios for a long time. So
cool.
Yeah, actually, I was proposing that to Aldo back in Valencia times, and my reasoning was like, beside VDRA, beside the admission controller, admission checks, was also errors which is unrecoverable on the node, but is localized to the pod. So, for example, like you can, like you have something during the pod creation time which runtime cannot satisfy. So, for example, like mount cannot be propagated to particular runtime class or something similar. So not only admission parts, but unrecoverable scope to the pod errors inside kubelet should trigger the same thing, like try to reschedule it somewhere else.
Sounds nice to me. Look forward to look forward to those cases.
Yeah, looks like a busy 130, 131 on the KEP front. But yeah, that's really cool that you started to work on this.
Unless there are more comments or questions, I think I'm done for today with this topic. And of course, feel free to reach out to me on Slack and to discuss. Thanks.
Thank you, Francesca. And please bring it next week as well, because there will be more people
Absolutely. I plan to reach out to later this week. There is the batch working group, so I'll start the same conversation on that front. A bunch of scheduling experts that hang out in there. So I will totally bring it up there and next week. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, Francisco, one question about that.
Sure.
Do you have any kind of proof of concept implementation for that? Many bits of that?
No, I will love to. It actually depends on how this cycle spans out. Because if for whatever reason we decide to postpone, I would love to work on a proof of concept meantime. So to further validate the concept. Okay, these can fly. Those are the things that works well. Those are the things that doesn't work well. And the other reason is that the design doc I shared basically was completed. Well, it's completed in the sense that all the steps are written down. It's not final, but all the steps for the flow are there just before the holidays. So it's very fresh. But yes,
Okay.
I would love to have a proof of concept as soon as possible.
Okay, but I'll take a look at that.
Thank you very much.
Okay. With that, I think we're at the end of our agenda. Thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.